You were willing to marry a stranger, have sex with him, and then divorce him?
As awful as that sounds, yes.
Can you please explain the concept of halala in Islam? What do you mean by halala?
Sister has a question that what is the concept of halala?
It's a little-known phrase, triple talaq, where a man says talaq or divorce to his wife 3 times in a row, which means their marriage is finished there and then. Though it's impossible to know exactly how many women are divorced like this, men sometimes give a triple talaq during an argument or a fight, and then later regret it. And if you believe in triple talaq, it's possible you'll also believe in halala, the only way a divorced couple are allowed to get back together. Halala means the woman must marry someone else, consummate the marriage, and then get a divorce before she's able to remarry her husband.
Allah said in the Holy Quran, any man, doesn't matter who is it. As I told you, orally, if you see that twice, it's no longer his wife. He has to divorce her, another man has to marry her, and then they divorce her and his husband can go back again if they think they can keep the word of Allah.
Yeah.
वो कल परसों मिले थे, कह रहे थे मेरी शादी हो रही है, मैं शादी करने जा रहा हूँ। मैं तीन मरते बोल के गए तलाक तलाक तलाक।
3 words in a single text message changed Farah's life forever.
This is adultery. This is infidelity. This is prostitution.
You can go to a hotel or something and complete that thing. And then...
As in sleep together sort of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on a new level. 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 Brought me a new shovel. Put these niggas in the dirt. Shame with the new bezel. On my nigga, put it work. I'm on a new level. 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 Brought me a new shovel. Put these niggas in the dirt. Shame with the new bezel. On my nigga, put it work. Used to be sleeping on itchy beds. Bed bugs in the motel. Now you give me head. 20 boots in the hotel. On a Roman noodle diet. Tour life wasn't so well. All my niggas starting riots. Marsh pitting on your toenails. Uncle T doing so well. First class from a hotel. T-Bird did 15. In the feds getting no mail. My daddy died and my cousin too. They ain't let him out of no cell. Provide jobs from a whole block.
The divorce, etc. And it says in Surah Baqarah chapter 2 verse number 230, it says that divorce is only permissible thrice. The third time it is irrevocable. After that you cannot remarry. So the divorce is taken place according to the Sharia. You cannot remarry a wife who you have given divorce thrice. How to give, you can refer to my video cassettes. In this case you cannot remarry her unless you marry another husband.
I'm on a new level. 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 Brought me a new shovel. Put these niggas in the dirt. Shame with the new bezel. On my nigga, put it work.
Let me explain
Sami,
you.
no, don't divert to another topic, yeah? Because let's just stick with this and finish.
That's fine. If you don't
Let's
want
make
to
this more practical,
Okay.
yeah?
Okay. But
No, Sami, would you want your wife to go through this? You divorce her in this way,
look,
and then you want her to go marry him,
and then come back to
you.
the Quran. Would you?
be happy with.
Look, the Quran making, listen, the Quran making it legal, as I say to you. And I don't want to repeat it twice, 3 times, 4 times.
The Quran doesn't make it legal.
The Quran is a good law. It's not a man-made law. Yep. Sharia law comes from the Quran. Abu Hanifa. Listen, no. Abu Hanifa, he has a school of law, and his law comes from the Holy Quran. And Abu Hanifa has Abu Hanifa has 4 students. Has 4 students. Has Maliki, has Shafi'i, has Hanbali, and one went to North Africa, Maliki.
2 hours later.
We Muslims believe Sharia law comes from the Quran. It don't come from nowhere else. Because Allah says in the Holy Quran, وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ.
6 hours later.
Anyone, doesn't matter he's a judge, it doesn't matter who is it. If he doesn't practice God's law, he's a munafiq. He's a hypocrite. That's what Allah says.
We know these things. Yeah. We know this.
Yeah, but
I want you to answer this.
I already answered you.
Your wife, if she,
I'm not.
If you have divorced her, just the way the Quran is saying, would you be happy to go marry him?
If no, not me.
I'm on a new level. I'm on a new level. I'm on a new level. I'm on a new level.
Your wife, if she,
I'm not.
If you have divorced her, just the way the Quran is saying, would you be happy to go marry him?
If no, not me.
No, it's an example.
I am not.
Okay, someone else. Okay, she's going to marry someone else.
It's alright. I'm not worried.
Would you be happy?
If any Muslim, including me, any Muslim, orally, as I told you, I repeat what I say. Orally, if he see that twice, it's no longer his wife. She's divorced, married another person, and he can marry her. Of course, according to the Quran. According to the Holy Quran.
With your own wife.
I'm not going to see those words.
No, I'm saying if you do say it.
No,
we're talking about hypothetically.
No, but if
this happens.
No, but I don't believe in if. If a man, not me. If a man, not me.
In this case, you cannot remarry her unless you marry another husband.
If a man, not me.
So I was at home with the children and he was at work, and during our heated discussion he sent me a text saying talaq, talaq, talaq.
He divorced you?
Yeah, he divorced me.
If a man, not me. I'm not going to say that.
Okay, so he doesn't want to apply the law to him.
No,
because he knows it doesn't make sense.
No.
But someone else, Sharia law. Someone else, yeah, it makes sense.
I'm a married man. Why should I put my wife in that situation? Because I'm not going to say it. If a man,
so that's not morally right.
Allah said in the Holy Quran,
he divorced you?
Yeah, he divorced me. And my dad was like, your marriage is over. You can't go back to him. Through a couple of people, I found out that there are certain individuals, imams even, who offer paid services of halala. I found out it would cost like something between £500 to £1,000. I was so in love with him, I was willing to do anything to get back with him.
You were willing to marry a stranger, have sex with him, and then divorce him?
As awful as that sounds, yes.
We then find a UK-based halala service, which says it arranges temporary marriages and to message them privately for more details. We get in touch with them over Facebook, with an undercover reporter posing as a divorced Muslim woman who's looking to try and get back with her husband. The man behind the account turns up and tells us he's been busy laying the groundwork. He has a number of other men working with him, all of who carry out the halala service for a fee.
How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. And you?
Alhamdulillah.
Like, for you, I contacted 3 guys, 3 or 4 old members. They're older than me, they're in their 40s, and they were saying that they're gonna take 5,000 and they want to keep it for 6 months to 1 year.
Keep what?
Keep the marriage for that long.
What would
Mosque is cheaper.
Yeah, mosque is cheaper. So do you know like which mosque you would think, like, do you have an idea of which mosque you might?
Well, that's what I'm going to go and see the people. I'm going to go see a few imams who would do it easily.
The man then offers to carry out the halala service himself, claiming it will be cheaper and safer.
If I paid 500, what would I get with that money?
No, it's from 2,500.
Oh, 2,500. Sorry, I misheard you. So from 2,500, like, how much? What would I get with that money?
Like I said, if you want to get it done in a hotel or something, then obviously the imam cost and the witnesses cost. We have to pay for the certificate and all that.
Yeah.
And for sex, if you want a luxurious room, you want many things, you want to enjoy it properly.
Yeah.
Obviously, the hotel cost is also.
Yeah.
You can go to a hotel or something and complete that thing, and then.
As in sleep together, sort of thing. Yeah. Okay.
He brings up other women he's helped in the past and how much they've paid to go through with the halala marriage.
One of them was in hotel, but she also paid a lot.
Okay.
She gave £6,000. Okay. She was the one who stayed for 3 months as well. Yeah, obviously we'll use contractors. I don't want you to get pregnant.
I'm on a new level. I'm on a new level. I'm on a new level. I'm on a new level.
Imagine your mother. She was divorced by your father, and he said to her, "You are divorced 3 times." And then, you know, she have kids from from this man, and she want to go back. I mean, she did not do anything wrong. It's not her fault. Muhammad, he come saying, if your mother, she was divorced 3 times, she cannot go back to her husband until she marry another mule, and he have to jump on the top of her. And I can show you the reference. It says she have to taste his juice and he have to taste her juice. Are you there, Muslims? Am I lying? What kind of cult says if you divorce your wife 3 times, she cannot go back to you unless she sleep with a new man?
You know, unless you're in that situation where you're divorced and you're feeling that sort of pain that I felt, no one's really going to understand the desperation some women feel.
And what the purpose and what the wisdom? The Muslim, they will say to you, oh, this is a penalty for the man, so he will not exaggerate with the word divorce. But my friend, you said to him 3 times. What about you say it for him from the first time? If you divorce her, you cannot have her forever. What this is about is sleeping with a new man. And still men, they do it. I mean, you make it 3 times, and now she have to sleep with a new man, and still they divorce her 3 times. What about you make the divorce very strict and very hard? Divorce in Islam is so easy. You just say you are divorced, that's it. There's no need for a court, there's no need for anything. You are divorced, even you can send a text message.
From an Islamic perspective, the divorce can happen verbally. You don't need to go to an imam.
And a woman can say, I want to divorce you, and it's a divorce?
No, it's not like this. The man can divorce his wife, okay, verbally. Now, if the wife wants a divorce, this is a serious issue. She has to go through a Muslim court. It is not like the case when the husband divorces his wife.
Why this difference?
Because, from an Islamic perspective, Islam acknowledges the differences between men and women. Yes?
And what could be the rationale behind the rule that a man can divorce just verbally and a woman cannot?
Yeah, because now women, we all agree that they become pregnant and they become, they observe their menses. Obviously, men, they do not become pregnant and they do not observe menses.
6 months later.
Certain psychological changes, and certain physical needs as well.
You mean like men think more clearly?
No, it doesn't mean that. Okay, it doesn't mean that. Okay, everyone is intelligent. Yeah, but everyone is intelligent in a different way.
A woman in the kitchen, the guy is driving his car, he sent her a text message, you are divorced, get out.
वो कल परसों मिले थे, कह रहे थे मेरी शादी हो रही है, मैं शादी करने जा रहा हूँ, मैं तीन मरते बोल के गए, तलाक तलाक तलाक.
And then you will find that the Muslims, they suffer from this rule, which is obviously perverted rule. So we see a woman, she married a new man in order to get back to her previous husband, and she thought to herself, well, if he tried to sleep with me, I will not let him do it, and then he will get rid of me, he will divorce me, so I can go back to my husband. And this is the story in front of you in Sahih Bukhari, as you see. A woman, she came to the Prophet wife, and she was beaten by her husband until her skin became greener than her clothes. And Aisha, she said, I have not seen any women suffering as much as I believe in women. What the story is about? The story is about this woman. She married a new husband because the previous husband, he divorced her 3 times. And now she don't know what to do. How she can get back to her husband? The only way is to find a new husband, and after he sleep with her, she can go back to her previous husband. I mean, how in the world that can be a religion? And now this woman, this poor woman, as you see, she get beaten by her husband, the new husband, and Muhammad now is investigating the issue because the man, he came over. And she told him that my husband, his private part is not working. The man, he said, she's a liar. I swear by Allah, I can satisfy her. Look at the conversation. This is a conversation with the Prophet of Allah. She said, by Allah, I have done nothing wrong to him, but he is impotent. He is as useless as this to me, which when she is holding her clothes of her fabric, which means, you know, his penis is not working. Abdul Rahman said, by Allah messenger, she told a lie. I'm very, very hot, horny man, brother. I can satisfy her, but she is disobedient and want to go back to Rif'ah. She want to go back to Rif'ah. Allah messenger said, if this is your intention, then you know that it's not lawful for you to marry Rif'ah again unless you had sexual intercourse, according to the translation. But the fact, by the way, it doesn't say that. It says in Arabic, حتى يذوق عسيلتك من عسيلتك, حتى he tastes your juice. Literally, until he tastes your juice. Imagine the Prophet of God saying to a woman, she want to go back to her previous husband, she don't want this guy. Oh, you cannot do that. The only way you can go back to your previous husband, this man, he have to taste your juice. It mean intercourse at the end, yes, but you know what does that mean? He have to taste her juice. If we go to different hadith, just to show you how they lie, copy this word just to search for the exact same story, and you will see how they lie in the translation. Look here at the translation. Here, until he consummate his marriage. It doesn't say that. Liars. Look at this here. This is different translation. You see the Muslims, I mean the same story, the same sentence. Look how the translation changed. It says, no, until you taste his sweetness and he tastes your sweetness. So if you are saying to me that Islam is a religion and Muhammadi is a person who speaks from God, what is that? This is sex party, this is hippies. What tastes your sweetness and he tastes your sweetness? I mean, and this is just because a woman, she want to go back to her husband. So now we force her to taste the juice of the new man, and he have to taste her juice, and then after that she can go back. If this is what Islam is about, what hippie movement is about? Sex with everybody. Now you are forcing the women to go around, sleep around with the new men just because she want to go back to her babies. She have children from the previous husband. The poor woman, she is trying desperately to go back.